Yeah, we Phase. Yeah, we Phase. Yeah. Welcome to the Unphased podcast. We doing it live. The Unphased
Doing a
podcast,
live,
guys.
doing
This is
it.
the number
Biggity,
one.
biggity.
Come on, man. The number one Moti-tainment podcast in the world. You got myself, Phase. You got Real Dude McNeal, like always. And we got a special guest today. Backstage manager, can you solo him out for a second? Solo him out for a
All right, we're gonna
second.
do the background
We have
commentation.
we have a special
Hey,
guest. We got
hey.
Meech in the building. Come on
They
now.
call him Big Meat. Oh,
We got Meech in the
every
building.
Appreciate
It's
y'all
gonna be a
boys
good
having me.
day.
Appreciate y'all.
It's gonna be a good day. And I brought you on, brother, because this is a special conversation that we having today. Very special conversation. And this was a conversation that I think is pivotal for all, really the whole world, because the world is changing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? This streamer university, what Cenat did, we gonna come here and we need to debunk all the fallacies, all the truths, the myths, everything. And I want to talk about what this really is and what this is doing for the world. You know what I mean? So I know it's gonna be a good conversation, bro. But I'm happy to have you on first and
Appreciate
foremost.
appreciate you guys.
But the first thing, man, we're gonna get right into it. I think one thing for me, looking at this streaming university and everything Cenat does, right? The first thing is that he's a genius. Like this was like on the brink of some Steve Jobs. You know, I'm talking about like real Elon Musk, like people not comparing it that way, but this is how I'm thinking of it because this is changing the way social media, content creators, influencers, and what people don't realize is marketing, content, and all that. That's what's helping businesses now. Like if businesses can't do that, you suffering nowadays. So I
Exactly.
think it's a really crazy thing, but just touching on like how big of a thing this was, how big of a creator is, and like how special this streaming university thing that he is and what he's doing, man, is crazy.
Sure. Sure.
Me, man, my take on it, I personally feel like it was a lot of pros, very much more pros than cons. I ain't on here to bash, I ain't on here to hate. You know, say shout out to Kai
Mhm.
Snap, all the streamers, Duke Dennis, Frat Brother, Benadon, shout out to the Noops, you know what I'm
Ah,
saying?
okay, you knew. I ain't know. I ain't
Yeah,
know. Okay.
you know what I'm saying? But now they had a lot of big names on there, Deshae Frost, Cooking with Kaya, like the fact that, and then all the shout out to all the upcoming streamers and YouTubers and all the influencers that was on there, you know what I'm saying, just trying to make a name for themselves and boost their platforms. I think what he did was dope, man. He provided a space where, the known could come, share knowledge, and the soon to be known on a bigger stage can also come and grow their brand and their name. So just to be able to put a platform like that out there. Same thing we trying to do right here at Unphased. You know what I'm saying? We messed
Literally.
around and make this an Unphased network and sponsor some people. I
Oh,
don't know. It could be a lot of
oh,
big things that come up. I'm speaking in the future,
okay.
Unphased Productions, but
Okay.
ultimately, you for everybody, you start with a dream, you start small and you keep dreaming. Dreamers dream big, and you start acting on those dreams. And shout out to Kai Cenat, he was able to do something that ain't nobody done before, and that's what we here to be trendsetters. So I think
Yeah.
it's
And
dope.
ain't nobody's done it before.
Yeah. I thought it was real interesting how there's not so many barriers of entry. Like anybody can,
Mm,
it's not like football. It's only a little percentage of who can make it to the NFL, small
yeah.
percentage who can make it to the NBA. But
Yeah.
if you got a monitor and you're creative, like you can definitely tap into this space. And I think it's definitely necessary with how the world is shifting.
Now
Yeah.
I like the point he brought it to because I'm
That's
a thinker.
huge.
I want to jump into it because I like almost what he hit on there because it also brings the aspects to this is competitive though still, and
Mm,
I really like kind of the
great
aspect
point.
of the competitive entry. They kept it real professional, but at the same time, and there's controversial statements out there about the selection of who got to go being biased, but I did like he had the reveal. It was almost like a little miniature draft and or nominee selection, whatever can it be. But it was very tough, And again, I don't think it had anything to do with performance or rank. I think it had everything to do with personality and what could it was a political business move for his brand, but what can be brought to the university to help them, excel and exceed. So just a great mind, collectively. And for those who didn't get selected, there was a lot of great conversation out there. I don't know if y'all heard it.
Hmm.
There was a lot of great conversation out there with the way that impacted those who didn't get selected and those who did get selected. For those who got selected, it was an opportunity to change, their foundation of what they were doing. For those who didn't get selected, it was pros and cons to it. Some took it with a grain of salt and was like, okay, I'm gonna keep pushing, going harder. I'm gonna use this as fuel to the fire. Some bittersweet, it got very
It's hot. They
personal.
was hot. I
But
seen
yeah,
dudes
yeah, it
breaking
definitely was one of those
monitors,
conversations.
breaking all types of stuff because they didn't get
Yeah,
in. Nah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
crazy.
So
But I
that's how
think
you
one
know.
thing,
That's how
yeah,
you know
yeah.
it was something that was of a great deal. To have that kind of emotion behind everything. So it
Yeah,
was overall, it was like,
100%. And it was definitely a big deal. And even back with like what you were saying, Meech, I think one thing like the access to this is huge because now a lot of people are realizing like, okay, this is something that I can do that no one is like. You don't have to get drafted into. I'm not talking about streaming university. Of course, you got
but
to
yeah,
pay for
it
that, but
just
just streaming
yeah,
in general, making content, where content is going out. You don't have to get drafted. No one control how much you put into it, how long, what you talk about, or
come
anything
on
like
now.
that. And the beautiful thing about it, though, right? Is that like while I'm watching this, I'm tapping into Stream University, I'm tapping in all these things. It became so crazy to me because I'm watching, he found like the community he built. Like it
Mm,
was all these smaller streamers, may not be big, however, they picked them political, not political, but
yeah,
it was the mindset was okay, I'm gonna bring all these people in and we're gonna for free. All these people are coming here for free, and all you're
Yeah.
gonna do is benefit. All you're
Yeah.
gonna do is what you've been doing.
Right.
All
Right.
you're gonna do is grind,
Yeah.
stream, and you're gonna get game for free and build your platform, 10x your platform. You know what I mean? People aren't doing that. People aren't, a lot of people are gatekeeping. A lot of people
mhm.
like to say they're not gatekeeping, but a lot of people are gatekeeping. And this was a great opportunity where it's like, hey, you're gonna come here and we're just gonna grow together. Because of course, Casanat made, I think he said he made like 8 million, or I don't know how much he made. He made a lot of money, right?
Smart business
But
move.
everyone else made money too. You know what I mean? He's
Mhm.
helping everybody else around him too. So
And
it
now
was a
there was one girl.
win-win.
She was like, she joined the joint. I don't know if it was like 8 to 10,000 viewers or whatever. She said
Mm.
when she got accepted, it went to 45,000.
Ooh,
I don't even know. I probably got to tap in with her. I don't even know where it's at now. She probably at shoot
Yeah.
anywhere from between 60 to 80,000. Could be at a
it's
hundred
life
thousand.
changing.
You
Across
know
the
what I'm
board,
saying? Like
though,
for real.
across the board, it's definitely a lot of streamers, man, just hit crazy numbers right after that.
No,
And I just think that's so interesting.
no, for sure, for
It
sure, for
definitely
sure.
is. And I think one thing people, but the misconception, right? For all the people, okay, I could be a streamer, I could do this. Like a lot of people think it's easy though. And I think
No,
that's
right.
one thing that a lot of people don't understand as well. Cause like a misconception is, okay, yeah, I could just get on here and stream and I'm about to blow up.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mhm.
maybe, like if you something happens or whatever, but it's not like that. Like any good thing,
For
like Kai
very
Cenat
few.
didn't get there by just getting on and just no. Like
Yeah.
just seeing this even let
Yeah.
you know into the mindset. Like this dude is meticulous
It's
about
a consistency
what he's
level
putting
too.
together. You got to be consistent. You got to have
Yeah.
drive. You got to do it. You know what I mean? So it was really cool to see that too, man. I think it's just a blessing to be able to look and be like, okay, this dude manifested what he wanted and how it's all coming into fruition
And
now
then
is
he brought
crazy.
like-minded people like himself together. And like you said, just on the aspect of not gatekeeping, like for big names like Duke Dennis, Kai Cenat, Benadon, and everybody who's doing a thing to come there with their platform. And it wasn't like, oh, I'm just because I feel like they had the least to gain,
Hmm.
but they gave back to those who like we really finna, like you said, give you free game. We finna put you on. You're here with the opportunity. If you didn't seize the moment in that moment, it's only so much somebody can put in front of you before it's like, okay, are you the problem? So, ultimately, like you said, everybody can't do it. Well, scratch that. Everybody can do
Hmm.
it,
Yeah.
but to be one of the best that are doing it takes a level of consistency, effort,
Commitment,
dedication, being
discipline. Yep.
meticulous,
Right.
method,
Right.
planning. It's not just a matter like if we just got on here and we didn't game plan some of this stuff, we'd just be on here making content, shooting. But as you can see, we're improving and trust and believe. There's even this, if I can speak for us, phase,
Go
even this
ahead.
here at Stream University has motivated us to do something and be the first of our kind. And if you're not one of the
Yeah.
ones who want to be the first to be a trendsetter, well, you're really just doing it to do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine, but we're trying to change the game. So
Yeah, and I think that's big. And let me go through this because we can't go past this, right? Like I seen this interview with Kevin Hart. He was talking about Kai Cenat, and he was just talking about how I don't think a lot of people realize what this guy is doing. Like even with the streaming university, like this dude is putting up Super Bowl type numbers from his
Mm-hmm.
room. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like even before streaming university, these are Super Bowl type numbers that this guy is able to put up with his room. The impact that he's having is ridiculous. The reach that he's having, the amount of people is crazy. Let me run through these stats for you so we could just see, so everybody watching and all of us can know. So Cenat Streaming University netted over 3.37 million hours watched on Twitch with a peak of 638,289 viewers. What?
Crazy.
What?
That's
Look,
crazy.
everybody was speechless
That's
for about
insane.
2 seconds. And they like,
Hey,
The event featured
I'm trying to
120
add it up.
students. 120 students learning from 17 notable streamers, showcasing their impressive growth with new followers, big industry interest, all that, bro. But it's like, I think it's one of those things. Like, if you really look at the numbers and what he's doing, like, it's like for me, I'm excited. I'm like, okay, how can we stream? How can we do this? How can we
Mhm.
change? Because this is one of those moments. We're kind of like taking it to bringing LJ back, but it's like crypto. If you think about crypto, like crypto was not really a big thing a lot because people been on Twitch for a minute. Like
right,
people have been
right.
going YouTube live, they've been doing this for a minute, and now this is the thing that's is just starting to hit its stride. So how can we take advantage of that? That's what I'm thinking. Like, okay, what do we
Yeah,
need to do? But I think it's more so just being open to innovation, like being open to change, continuously
yeah,
being consistent
yeah,
with the content that we
yeah.
put out. And I brought Meech on here, right, to talk on this too, right? Just because I'm watching. Like Meech is one of my brothers, but I'm watching. I'm like, this dude's posting on TikTok every day. Like this dude's posting something, talking on there. I'm like, his numbers, he's doing numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So he's going
yeah,
and going. And I think it doesn't matter if you're at 1 million or you're at 10,000, but it's like it's the consistency aspect. And I see that from you. So
Mhm.
that's why I'm like, you're a perfect person to have on this. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Appreciate you. Yeah, with anything, bro, like it's gonna start off uncomfortable. Like when I first picked up the camera and just tried to talk behind it, I'm uncomfortable. Like, but I look at everything like that, like drilling every day on the field. It's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna be tiring, but putting in those daily deposits over time is gonna pay
Yes.
off. So it was a period in my life. I'm just like I'm making videos. I got so many drives. Like why not just drop them? Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just looking at it like why not just drop them
Facts. Facts. No,
twice a
definitely.
day? And honestly, and then just showing my face. I started going live to balance out the post that I was making. And then it just started growing like fast. Like I think honestly, I think I hit. I remember this vividly. I remember I was at like 1,400 followers,
Mhm.
and my head down, I'm just posting, just grinding, just doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? Until I found my niche. Like it was a point in time. Like I don't know what my niche was at first, but
Mm.
it was a free for all for me. Like just posting, and that's when you
Yeah.
go back, look at the analytics, see what's was hitting or what people like and what people gravitate to. You can see the age group who really watch your
Yes.
videos, and
Yeah.
then just start tailoring it down. And then that was a little strategy that I used, and now I'm up almost 12.5K on
Mm.
followers, but it happened like it happened so quick. That's not nothing to Phase. Phase got, you know what I'm saying?
It
But
was me and you making the TikToks
yeah,
together though, where I was
exactly.
going up.
And
Yeah.
it made me think though, like how much further I'll be down the line if I was just posting consistently while we were in
Yeah.
school, while we were in college.
What?
We had the people around us, like
We
Phase
had it.
always been outgoing, Jelani, Malik, um, Jalix, like we had the
We
people,
had it.
but it was a comfort thing for me. I was like, I just looked down upon it, but
Hmm.
then you got guys like Casanet, like I'm gonna do it anyway. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just do
Yeah.
it anyway, and just kept
For
going.
for your content and what it is, and like
Mhm.
you said, at some point in time, you found your niche. Like you were shooting, you were streaming, or you're making videos, whatever it's gonna be. When you found, because I was always curious in this, when you found your niche, did all of your content start to gravitate more towards that? Did you stay true to, hey, this is what's going to keep me in front of the? Because I've seen people, on platforms, and whether it's them being stubborn or, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. But
Right.
did you finally recognizing, hey, the numbers speak to this, and this is what my content needs to gravitate towards, and just do that? Or was like, this is actually what I want to do, and it just so happens to be working out?
So a little bit of both, you know, little bit of both.
Mm,
Like you can
yeah.
see these big creators and see exactly what they're putting in their hashtags or what sounds they're using. And so that's when I was starting just free for all, just trying to see what I like to do, what I feel for. And then like over time I just started to realize like I do a little bit of mental health advocacy, a lot of fitness, a lot of just positivity. So a mixture of all of that, people start to know me for that. So like you got fans or supporters asking you questions about certain things, asking just for tips and stuff like that. Like, and you just start to see how rewarding it is to be able to be that person that people come
Mhm.
to. So
How important would you say, you know, finding out what your niche is, staying true to your content is for your brand? Like, obviously, when you go to somewhere like Streaming University, because I do kind of want to make sure it's tied there, but Streaming University, you have multiple brands there, you have multiple creative ideas there. You know, is that an opportunity for you to pivot, you know, and switch what that way looks like for you, or do you stay true to your content and try to, you know, make content with others to kind of boost and get what you like, you know, to
interesting.
do known for? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that's interesting. And I say that because you're gonna always you're gonna always be influenced by something. You see people doing
Mm-hmm.
certain things and you want to just make it a part of what you do. But
Mm-hmm.
I say find your niche because we are different, we all unique, and we all have a set of skills. Like
Mm-hmm.
cooking with Kaya, like that's you know what I'm saying. Like that's a trademark almost. You know,
That's
like
as niche as you can get.
you know what I'm saying. Like
That's it.
she
Yeah.
created that and you know went along with it. Now, if you try to mimic that and it's gonna be you're gonna get a lot of hate from it. Not necessarily hate, but people gonna look down upon it like, well, Cooking with Kaya started that. So that's not what you do, whatever the case may be. Probably get a lot of
Mm-hmm.
backlash from it. But I think it's important to just find your skill sets and bring your skill sets to life. Whatever you're good at, whatever you want to promote, and honestly, just your purpose. If you could tie being a creator and tie with your purpose, like you're doing something right.
You just said something huge there though, because like when Iman was talking and asking that question, I'm thinking like, okay, even with the podcast, it's like, dang, like, okay, how do you find a niche? Like, is this a comedy podcast? Is it a motivational podcast? Is this a sports podcast? But it's like I do a little bit of all that, right? So I think
Mhm.
the biggest thing that I had came to terms with is like for anyone that's making content, right? I think it should always start with just trying to be your most authentic self. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it's like when you're making content, like you are the content. A lot of people think hard about, okay, like the niche or this or that, but it's like a lot of people, you're already very interesting. You know what I mean? Like as
Yeah.
people, we're already super interesting. If you just think about what you do, and especially how we're talking about bringing it back to streaming university, the IRL stuff, that's what's in right now. Like people
mhm.
trying to see, like maybe it is a little inflated, like you want to do some extra, whatever it is, but this is in real life. Like they trying to see people would rather watch DDG for 3 hours just sitting there chopping it up, rapping, doing whatever in real life than they would go to the movies. You know what I mean? So it's
People's
like,
life is now becoming movies. It seems like
That's
to me,
yes,
crazy.
like
It's
people are
crazy.
writing their own, you know, bibliographies without even knowing it. People are leaving their own market testimony, which is why, like, it's one thing I was talking about. You know what I'm saying, with these creative podcast ideas like this, or you know, any of your just making content in general. It's like you can almost leave your testimony or tell your own story without it being altered or fluctuate. You know, from or you know, kind of steer away from what you want to be known for or what you want it to be about. The question I was going to ask y'all, whatever, because I'm watching it too. I think maybe I had a slightly different perspective on the streaming university thing. Again, I
mhm,
think it was a great idea, super dope idea. But
yeah.
do you feel that, you know, or what do you feel like your controversial view was on it, or do you have any? Because I know for a lot of people they did. Some people are even asking the question of what was the purpose of streaming university? What was it even for? And do we feel like, and I guess my question for that is, do you feel like streaming university hindered anybody, you know, development or success? Like, was it a negative move for anybody?
I think honestly, if in any way you were not at Streamer University and it hindered you, you're a hater. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Like, ain't no way anything at Streamer University should have, like, for me personally, I'm gonna speak like I'm looking at that as motivation. Like I'm not. Look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all right here, live on the Unphased podcast. Can I be honest? I
Be honest, brother.
applied. I applied. I applied. I applied.
I thought about
I got
applying.
declined.
I didn't
I
submit the
got the
application as
decline.
one of them.
Look, I got the declined email. You know what I mean? But I'm like, at the same time, like I haven't, like I'm not streaming. I was doing it for the podcast. I was like, hey, sometimes I stream live on the podcast. You have to make a video. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
fast I had this in the
Not for
back.
real
But it was
though.
like, yeah, but it was one of those things
I
where it's
definitely
like,
really wish where we are now. I feel like if Streaming University comes back around, we own that. No cap.
We on
Like
that.
we own that for
I'm
sure.
telling you. But
Will
it's
y'all,
one
do
of
y'all
those
think it
things,
will be a
yeah.
part two?
They
I would
will.
like to
For
see
sure.
it.
I think they
Reason
said
why I
it's
would
gonna
like
be
to see it
sooner
be a
than we
part
thought.
two.
Didn't think it's gonna be in a couple months, I think.
I was about to say the reason why I would
Honestly.
like to see it's a part two, and hopefully, you know, first of all, I don't want this statement to come off as hate. You know what I'm saying? Because it didn't hinder
Mhm.
me any, but I did have some, you
Yeah.
know, some thoughts on it. If they do a part two, what I would like to see, whereas yes, and I don't know if this is happening behind the scenes again. I don't know if anybody shared, but I love how they had, you know, the classroom talk. It was like goofy little content building, something funny, you know what I'm saying? But on a realistic, a holistic, you know, aspect of it, I would like to see some more serious, you know, like whether it be courses or whether it's showcases, but some more serious game being provided as to, you know, let's put an algorithm class in there, not only for those who are there, but for those like help, you know, understand the algorithm better, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to what posting on whatever, or something more specific to how to really build your brand, like a class like that. I do like the, you know, the tricking off class and the science class. And they made it real fun for the people because again, like they said, this is not really school and you're not
Hmm.
coming
Right.
here to
Yeah,
really learn
yeah.
and like that. But for the second version of it, like let's really put some people on game. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
again, everybody it's one of those statements that if everybody is rich, ain't nobody rich. You know what I'm saying? But I know a
Yeah.
lot of people out there would love the opportunity to start doing better for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Change their reality. Me being one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So that's definitely something I would tune in more for. You know, or love to see
Yeah,
potential
100%. And
being
Yeah.
part
because
of
I
that.
think the one thing that brought me into it as well is like when I seen, I believe his name is Agent.
Yeah.
Like
Man.
I think his name. I'm looking at him like,
Yeah.
and I wasn't even watching. Like I wasn't watching people's. I watched a couple people's live, like on Twitch,
Yeah.
but it was like I was more so seeing a bunch of clips because like
Clips. Yeah.
Instagram was over flooded with clips, and he was. It seemed like he was giving game. Like I don't know whatever class he was, whoever's in his class, they got blessed because he was giving game from how much
Yeah.
money he makes, opening up his wallets, how much he's making monthly, how to post on this, how to handle brand deals, how to
Maybe I
do all
need to
this.
go back and tap into agency.
And I
Yeah.
don't
Like I
know.
No,
said,
he
maybe
was.
that was happening. I wasn't able to catch everything. Stream
Yeah.
University was full of a bunch of content creators.
Yeah.
It was so
It
much
was a bunch. It was so
video, but
much. It was so
He was
much
he
content.
was the only. I think he was the only one really just dropping gems. And I think again,
Yeah.
to your point, Iman, like that's so important because again, we just talked about how many followers these creators receive.
mhm.
Hmm.
We teach them to move forward? How do we teach them to, you know, grow from that? You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, they got that by just being present at Stream University
Yes.
Right.
off top. You know what I'm saying?
And
Now
imagine if
let's
they had the knowledge behind it now.
exactly.
The
So
features endless. So
Exactly.
and respectfully too, I think a lot of what he was doing again, maybe that's just who he is, the type of content he wanted to push out there. But for those who don't know, I know it was some stuff going on with him. So I don't know if that was an emotional aspect. Like I'm finna, you know, because it's a lot of things that people need to understand that I really have that mindset when it came to his passion or whatever it may be. So I know that there were things that happened leading up, and again, I don't want to speak too much on it because I don't know, you know, the in-depth things. But I know there's stuff going on at A&P House, and you know, it just I feel like he was on a different mission, like he had a different goal in mind, and he was like, "But I'm about to, you know, what I'm saying, let it be known like this is the way you get to the bag." And because he even said that like a lot of people wouldn't be where they at because of him, and it's not a lot of people, you know, it's not it's a lot of things that he did culturally to change the game. And I feel like this was a culture move for everybody, like so. It
yeah,
was dope that he was able to actually be able to drop them gems on people while he was there. So
It was definitely a culture move. And even hitting on that, I think one thing that like I seen somebody was talking about it like collaboration, community, like the ability to, because they talk about this all the time. Like if you want to grow your content, see somebody else that is doing content, get with them, y'all make content together. Now
right,
y'all sharing each other's like target audience. Now you're
right,
sharing markets. Now the people are seeing you off of theirs. You know what I mean? So I think even being more open to that, because
Oh,
I feel like even a lot of days now, a lot of people are like, okay, I'm gonna make content by myself. I gotta spend and do this, but it's like, okay, if me and Meech made content, okay, now I get some of your followers. Now me and E did it, and now we all did it, and we gonna connect with three other people that do it, and that's easy way to, you know what I mean, turn it into a monster. You know what I mean? But I
right,
think what
right.
Streaming University was, that was doing that on steroids. You
No,
know what I
big
mean?
facts,
Hmm.
big facts.
Hmm.
Even like me and you have had
Yeah.
conversations too with what's going on. We ain't gonna hit too much on it. Y'all just stay tuned to the podcast, but to kind of slightly hint on everything, and I love that I keep, we keep teasing them, saying don't give it to them right now. But that is real though. There's a lot of people, just like by sharing their, like you said, sharing their platform and allowing them to share yours, you can grow a lot more. We can grow further. We can go further as a community than, as one. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people
All right.
to them that was super big. So Streaming University, what it did is to be able to bring a massive collective community to, people, and the fact that they was able to, multiply that, it was dope. So the fact that you see that, and I love that title, because that's for real. It was a very impactful thing, and I feel like if you were somebody who was watching Streaming University and you weren't soaking in a lot of the gems they were dropping, or you weren't, seeing the symbolism or behind what they're doing. Yes, we understand there was a lot of goofy comedy stuff going on, but there's a lot of real stuff that was speaking to those who are trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Phaz, and, anybody else who's doing streaming and influencing. Like I just said again, as a community, you know what I'm saying? Don't be one of those people who are standoffish, closed off, want to, get out the mud and grind, feel open to, you know, collaborate with people. Create two creative minds are better than one. You know what I'm saying? Like-mindedness can take you a lot further. So
Hmm.
I'm super geek. You know what I'm saying? That idea was something that we got able to see live, something that we got to experience. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be at home or actually be there, because it only fueled us that much more to revamp our game and go harder. So you're gonna start seeing a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Creative ideas from us even on this podcast. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
very much appreciative just being, what I'm saying, a fan and a viewer of that.
I definitely didn't apply, but I definitely got motivated. Look, I was very
Definitely, yes,
motivated, bro. But I will apply to the next one though. So,
you could have
Yeah,
low key been,
bro.
saying, fitness content. You could have been the gym teacher. You could have
something,
been
you know
in
what I'm
there.
saying? Something,
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 You
something.
could have
But I
something.
teach
heard
health class.
something. But I heard, honestly, I heard he's doing like a streamer Total Drama Island type thing coming up. He
That'll
Wow.
mentioned
be.
it. Yeah, he dropped the teaser. He dropped the teaser in one of his the
He
post
did.
streams after
I feel
he
like
dropped it.
him and Mr. Beast is finna start. It's finna
That
start
is
getting
crazy.
crazy.
Just to
It's
see
finna
the
start.
level they own is just like it's ridiculous.
That's
Because
a
it's
Yeah.
now when you
real.
take this small thing, because now the smallest level of that is like, okay, we're streaming,
Now
we
you gotta
hop on
go.
Twitch, we get there. But now this is this guy taking it to, well, he's taking to, like, you see how I Show Speed is doing it.
These are
Like
Yeah.
Speed
reality
is
TV
traveling
shows
the
now.
world with
Right.
everybody and
Right.
doing this. And now Drewski,
Right.
you seen he went from the sketches to
Gucci's doing
actual TV
concerts,
shows. Mr.
Yeah.
TV
Beast went from
shows.
just the YouTube videos. Now he
They're
did a
revamping the
Amazon
game.
special. You know what I mean? So it's these
Yeah.
guys that are the content creators that was at one point, right? I remember content, putting your phone up and doing that. It was kind of cringy. It was like, I don't
Yeah.
want to, but now
Mhm.
everybody's doing it in some
Everybody's
form or
trying to catch
fashion.
something
Every
virtually.
business needs to go viral. It's trying to go viral. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to do it. And the one thing I was gonna say too, it's just this is revolutionizing, like even education. Because if you think about, I was having this conversation with Ginger, it was just about like how in this streaming university and some of the classes, like we're talking about with agent and things like that, they were actually dropping gems and knowledge about, okay, how do you manage this new society, this new world of content, of
Man,
streaming, of doing all this? And you have to do that at some point. There has to be like some type of school or
I
education. I
was
know
gonna say that.
Casanat,
Yeah,
I don't
Yeah.
know how much. Well, for agents part, he was actually teaching, right? But for the
Right.
other stuff, it
Right.
was a lot of fun and stuff like that too. And I'm like, I'm fine with
Yeah.
that. But I'm like, there needs to be somebody that steps up and educates these people that are in these fields, because these people are making more than doctors. Like these, you
realistically,
make more than doctors, and doctors have to go to school for years.
but
You know
Phase,
what I
believe it or
mean?
not, on a real school aspect, I feel like they finna start incorporating some of this stuff based off of just what they've been seeing,
I'm
Yeah.
the
saying,
attention span of kids, because we already are, at a certain point in time, it was AI, don't use AI, AI's cheating. Now they're actually encouraging people to use AI
Into
in actual
everything.
school. So now
To
imagine the
everything.
social media. I see this now being a part of our actual school system. They're gonna have classes on, you know what I'm saying, how to build platforms and build, because this is now a new entertainment element. This is gonna, it'll be like an elective, obviously just not a necessity, but you know,
Hmm.
Right.
I see it
Right.
happening, you know what I'm saying, for sure, for
Right.
sure. They're just showing you first, you know what I'm saying, like what's I don't even know the phrase. They're showing you right in front of your eyes, basically, though, that this can be done at an all-time high. And honestly, bro, like Mr. Beast, I don't know that the way he's doing the things I've watched is just
Yeah.
kind of like, and now to see Cenat now is coming at, you know what I'm saying, the world like this, and he's gonna take it to a whole nother realm. You got, like you said, Drewski, he's doing, you know what I'm saying. Drewski, I like his bag though too, because he's kind of in a bag that we're accustomed to, like, but in a comedic way. Like
Hmm.
he's in a bag when it comes to, like, you know, you got the Flavor of Love, I Love New York. Now you got the Drewski. It's a comedy sense, like a parody on actually what, you know, we grew up on, or what, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
the older side he grew up on. So now he's bringing it back to, you know what I'm saying, he's just staying true to what he knew. Now you got concerts, it's real live concerts, but it's on a parody version. So, you know what I'm saying, it's dope. I like his content, what he does. You know what I'm saying,
I
you got
like
the
what he's
American
doing
Idol
too.
aspect of it. Like he's really utilizing what already he was accustomed to, that he's seen had a success on his own, turning
Yes.
it into his own.
You went off a little bit, E. But I think one of the main things, if you can still hear me, Meech, I think like what I was talking about too is it's kind of crazy. Even the money aspect is
Yeah.
something that I was thinking about, right? Like
Yeah.
being able to do this, like the stream university, if you're a small streamer, you don't got nobody viewing or anything like that, then the stream university blows you up or whatever it is. You're not only like not just people watching you in the views, but you can make real money
Yeah. Yeah.
streaming. So think
Yeah.
about even the lives we live, like in the you get a, and one thing, the conversation I have with you, right, is like the conversation I had with Lonnie, Leak, Mo, all these guys. Like, dang, when you get out of
Hmm.
college, I'm like, okay, this kind of crazy. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
don't get
Yeah.
drafted like you're supposed to get drafted first round. That's what we dreamed about the whole time, but that doesn't happen. It's like, okay, now life hits you. But it's like, but now there are these other avenues, like people are making real life money
It's
covering your
crazy, bro.
bills from content or
It's
streaming
crazy.
if you love
Boy,
it
I'm about to
too,
quit.
like
It's
that
crazy, bro.
that's beautiful. You know
I
what I
think it's a
mean?
lot of avenues that come from that too, because you start to get brand deals more easily. You
Yes.
front line, people are more than likely want their brands on your stream.
On
You get
you.
you get subs, you get payments from
Yes.
subs, advertising. It's like it's so much money in this space, and it's crazy. I do got a question for y'all though. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know if we was gonna go there during this
Take
podcast,
it
but
there.
Take it
Take it
there.
there.
Let's get
take
there.
it there. All right, let's do
Take it
it.
there.
How do y'all feel about the backlash he was receiving by only having African
Man, not
Americans?
just him. I'm glad you brought it up. I wanted to
Mm.
go there because it was not just him. It was also other people who received a lot of backlash there, and because of the community it was in, it was drama at an all-time high. So, nah,
Right.
definitely go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Hit on
I'm
that.
Yeah.
not even gonna I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have not heard the backlash about
Yeah.
that, right? But the fact that he was getting backlash about that, and I'm looking at it now, that even opens my eye. Like
Mhm.
I just give him
Not for
like
sure. My thing is, there's
because that's crazy. I didn't even realize that, but now
all
that I'm
Yeah.
thinking
publicity
about it,
is good
yeah,
publicity. We talked about this before. All publicity is good publicity. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, Jesus had haters. You know what I'm saying? And again, for those who are not religious, Jesus had haters. I'm religious, so. But I mean, ultimately, it's one of the situations. He wasn't the only one who got backlash. You know what I'm saying? There was the cooking with Kaya incident. I think he got a lot of backlash. You know what I'm saying? From when it came to, like I said earlier, this way people were being selected. A lot of people took it personal, like. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He only didn't select me because he don't mess with me. But again, they failed to miss. Everybody can't be selected. You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
everybody can get on, then it's not special. Like, what are we doing here for real? So, you know what I'm saying? So, and again, who knows? He may ramp this up. I don't want to give him no ideas for real, but he may just do you know what I'm saying, a streamer town. You know what I'm saying? Now it's
Mhm.
more entries.
That's different. Yeah. And one
Hey,
thing I think
that's almost
too,
$1 million idea right there.
that like for real,
He
he just
dropping too
said it.
much. He
Yeah, he
dropping too
dropping too
much.
much. They had to freeze him real quick. They had to text him. Hey, get him off there. The government, everybody, they listening on that. Nah, for real. But I think one thing that's crazy too, like I was thinking about it, just if you have the power, right, to create something like Stream University, right,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna be what you want it to be. Like, so all the people that are mad that okay, it's only black streamers or whatever it is, but it's like this guy gets to the forefront of the world, not the forefront of the world, the forefront, and he has this platform, this huge platform.
Hmm.
Like, I'm looking at it like, hey, I'm gonna do what I want to do with it. Just
Exactly,
like, and we don't
exactly.
even got to get too deep into it, but like America has been these people at the top of these CEOs and hiring companies and giving out loans, like
Right, right.
they're gonna give it to who they want to give it to. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
So I think
exactly.
that's even
Yeah,
more of a power move because I didn't even think about that until you brought it
yeah,
up. So I'm like, that's
yeah,
even crazy. But I'm like,
yeah.
you had the power. You got to a certain point where it's like when they talk about FU money, like you got to the point where it's
Hmm.
like, I'm gonna do what I
Yeah,
want. You know what I
yeah,
mean? You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. I
So
don't see no
I
shame in that whatsoever, man. It's like everything you said, bro. Like I don't see no shame in it. Obviously, it's just haters. It's always gonna be haters.
it's
And
always gonna be
it
haters.
was a former, or it was another streamer that made that statement. So it's just
Wow.
like you got a lot of pull. You're trying to tear this man down for what he built.
Yeah.
You don't know the countless hours that go behind it. Like I look at things like that. Like you don't know what this man's day to day was figuring this all out. The
Hmm.
marketing, the how many people apply. Like you know, like he probably had a system, but at the end of the day, you
Yep.
still got to make that decision, and it's hard.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I
Yes.
give him his props.
I give him his props. And it's one of the thing too, because it's like just like you said, it takes so much people, a lot of people don't understand what it takes to do a lot of things. Like even for
Mhm.
instance, like example, like when I started this podcast, right, it's
Right.
like people don't understand like the work, the consistent work that it takes to okay, make sure the reels are getting posted, make sure we're on here, make sure everybody's right, make sure the conversation, whatever it is, trying to give produce, because this is a like podcast, but it's like it's a show, it's a
Yeah.
production in a very
Yeah.
small way, but it's like having a thought person. I think about the streamer university and what he just did is that times 100. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Taking that to a different level. So
Yeah.
it's inspiration on every level. You know what I mean? Because I'm seeing it and all I can do is applaud and like just take motivation from that because it's like that's the guy in the field of content that's doing it big. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely huge. But what I want, I had a
100%.
question too.
Go
You
ahead,
know what I
brother.
mean? I had a question for you too. So this is motivating, right? And I seen your TikTok. He's like, I'm gonna definitely be there next year. So it's like, are we finna get a sneak peek to me streaming? Are you gonna start streaming the content? Like, what's that look like for you, brother?
Hey, so if you know me, I'm transparent, bro. I keep it real. I'm gonna let you know
Yeah.
the real. When he did Streamer University,
Mm.
again, I didn't apply. I'm gonna state that I didn't apply, y'all.
Uh-huh.
But I was heavily motivated, man, and I honestly re-downloaded Twitch. I started tapping in more. I started, because I like again, like with in every space, you want to like study. You want to like really like I almost pulled out the notebook and locked in
Yes,
for real. You know what I'm saying?
for
But that's what
real.
it takes if you want to, you know, grow in a certain space. And
Yes.
like with the TikTok thing, like I already see I'm getting a lot of following and things like that. And one
Mm-hmm.
thing agent said it's easier to make that transition from TikTok to Twitch. So I was like,
Mm.
oh, okay, maybe I just need to just keep my foot on the gas with TikTok and just make a smooth transition. But I will start streaming soon.
Mm-hmm.
Setups and all that is currently about to get bought. So
Oh,
uh yeah, real soon. I'm just taking
We
easy
finna
as they
start
come.
streaming soon too.
Man, we own
yeah.
it. We
We
own it.
live right now. We live on Twitch
Uh,
and YouTube right now.
Oh
I say
yeah.
that.
Oh
I
yeah.
say that.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
podcast now that's good to know, bro. Because I think like a lot of people like that that's a new avenue, and it's not that we have to be Kai Cenat. We don't have to be this and that. It's
Right.
like, but
Right.
we can find our own niche within streaming. We can find
Yeah.
our own thing in what we do, but open ourselves up early because this is like it's blowing up now, so it's getting more, but it's still early because a lot of people are
Mhm.
still like, okay, Twitch and this,
Not
like you
fact.
said, like you just have to re-download Twitch. You know what I mean? Like I'm on Twitch, I still don't, I don't.
This
That's just
is
not me right now.
introducing
I
a
don't
lot of
get
people
on
to
and
the
just watch
way.
people live. It's just
Yeah.
like a different
Right.
mindset.
Right.
Because
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
I'm just watching you sit there, but I'm like, I
Right.
had to get on there, I had to study. I'm like, okay, what are these guys really
Yeah.
doing? When
Yeah.
I watch the
Yeah.
Stream University, and it's just a different platform. It's like
Yeah.
when you hopping on Instagram for the first time, it's different. You got to get
Yeah.
used to it. You know what I mean? But I think that's one of the things. It's like times change. It's either you gonna get
You
on
don't
or you
want to
just gonna
miss
let it
that
by.
train. You don't want to
You
miss
don't.
that train for sure.
It's
Like
this.
You don't.
It's like Bitcoin back
I
in
didn't miss it.
2000.
Right, right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like,
I didn't miss
yeah.
the
So
train too many times.
yeah.
I'm telling you. I'm telling
Yeah.
you. That's what it
But
is.
Phase, to your point though, like I think that's the creator side of you. Like you said, you couldn't just sit there and watch it from,
Yeah.
from the lens of just a viewer or as a fan. Like when you got on there, you studying, you trying to look deeper into it. Like, okay, let me hear his inflection point, how he said this, or let me
Yes.
see how he handled this, like camera
Yeah.
follow, like all that. Like we look at it from a different lens, and
Yes.
you're gonna get. It's always a small percentage of people that look at it from that lens of trying to your percentage of people just viewing and watching just to see the IRLs. You know what I'm saying? Just to see how that goes. And
Mm-hmm.
think about it, I got so many young siblings that just I walk past them and I'm just like, they just on YouTube, just scrolling, just watching people play games, watching people do
Yeah.
all types of stuff and just stream. And I'm
Yeah.
telling them like, why don't you just do that? Why don't you monetize yourself and let people watch you? You know what I'm saying? So
Facts. Facts.
yeah,
Facts. And I
yeah.
think that's one thing. It's like being a consumer or being the producer. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, and
Yeah.
I think that's huge. And I think one thing as well too that I think about like all the time is like even like think about acting. Like I did a little acting like a year ago. You know what I mean? I was like still
Mhm.
trying to pursue that, do some things on the side with that. But once I start acting, right, I couldn't watch a movie the same because I've seen the background and I'm seeing. So now it's like I'm not just sitting there taking it in. I am still, but it's like I'm also like, dang, I wonder how they shot that scene. Or why did he do
Yeah.
that way? So now I'm
Right.
watching Streamer University. I'm like, okay, like how is he doing that? Or like why did he set this scene up this way? Or like, dang, where is he? How does he have the camera set up? Because like I need to get a camera. Are they some people doing it off the phone? I'm like, is it possible? Can it still look good? You know what I mean? So all these questions going through my head. I'm like, and if you want to do that, you know what I mean? You have to. It's just like sports, just like anything. If you want to be great, you got to study the grades.
Not
You
Yeah.
fact.
have to. You
100%.
have to. You have to. And we ain't gonna be on here too long about it. You know what I mean? But I have to ask this last question. But what are we going to do? Because I feel like we need to do something. I know we're going to be streaming, we're going to be doing this and more. But another reason I'm bringing you on is like, man, we need to do something. We need to collab. We
Yeah.
need to reach out to people. And to anybody that watches this or sees this, feel free to reach out to the at Unphazed Pod
Fact.
on all
Fact.
platforms.
We
For
Like, feel
sure.
me?
challenge you
Wait, let me put this up
to
here
be
too so y'all can
unfazed
see.
and show us how you're staying unfazed. Show us what, you know what I'm saying, you could bring to the people to help them. So we challenge you, if you're a viewer, if you're somebody who watch, feel free to reach out. We are, open to taking on whatever element or supply.
Collabs,
So collabs,
Yeah.
everything.
anything.
If you want to do a
This is only gonna
collab, a
get bigger.
stream, a TikTok, a short
Yes.
video, whatever the case may be, if you just want to come on here and drop a message, like I said, Unphased Networks is in the making. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unphased
Come on.
Productions is coming soon, and it's not just gonna always be us in front of you. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna bring the live Moti-tainment to a household near you by way of you. So, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Just stay tapped in, you know what I'm saying?
We're gonna keep
For
collabing.
sure.
I gotta show y'all this though.
Not for sure.
Cause I know people just be thinking I may be lying or something sometimes, you know. So you gotta bring the receipts. You know
Bring
what
the
I mean? I want
seats.
to show y'all
Bring the
this. I'm gonna
seats
show
out
you
here.
this. Yeah, just check it out, bro. Come on, man. Let me zoom in.
Hey,
I
deny,
applied.
decline.
I applied on on behalf of the
Which
Unphased
one hurt
podcast.
worse? That deny, or you ever been denied a job application, college? I got denied a college entry for real, and I was a
For
little
real?
pressed. I applied to like 7 schools, got into 6 out of the 7. I wanted to go to the school that didn't accept me just because they didn't accept me. I was like, no, fuck that. No, because we need to look at the test scores. I graduated 3.5. There's some room in there for me. This is not an Ivy League.
Yeah.
Fuck with your boy. But it hurt a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? It
hurt
wasn't
me
I
more.
got accepted to 6. It was the 1.
Come on, man.
Well, we all believers on here. We know how God works. There's just gonna be another door gonna be open. Yeah, another door gonna be open. Something greater. You know,
come on, something greater. And it takes sometimes, like we had a conversation with Maxwell Pierce on here. One door closed, it's another door open. So you needed to see that because like I applied in the mindset of like I know I'm not gonna get it because like I don't even stream or whatever, but I'm like, let me see what happened. So
is this a crazy analogy to use?
Well, go ahead. What is it? What is it?
Now when I say this,
I'm listening.
Sometimes a door has to close for another door to open, and I'm gonna give you an analogy. In certain situations, and maybe this may be stretching. I ain't trying to get too deep on y'all.
Come on,
situations, whether it be like, lab experiments or whatever, something great is going to take place. You may have to go in one door, and that other door cannot open until that door closed because you don't want anything to contaminate what you're getting ready to do on this side of the wall, on this side of the door. So this door has to close in order for this door to open. You can't just stay kind of in the in-between. Go ahead, go ahead, close that door real quick so we can, open this one, especially if it's a room in which it may be a dark room. You don't want to let that, what's going on behind the scenes outshine what's already been shining. So it's a lot of,
No, that's not a reach. I like that analogy. I like that.
But
no, I'm with you.
But realistically though, like, sometimes the door has to close for another one to open. A lot of people get stuck on walking out of this thing that they think is where they're supposed to be, not realizing go that direction, go through that door. That's where you want to walk into to, get where you're trying to get. So
100%, man. This has been a great episode. Like we said, we want to collab with everybody. Everybody on here, everybody that's going to see this later. You see all our backstage manager. Can you go back to the 3 wide real quick? My apologies. All 3 of us right here. You can see our names. You can see the Instagrams. Feel free to DM, reach out to us so we can get this done. Any collabs.
Real talk, because we want to hear from you.
Yes.
How are you staying unfazed?
Yes, we gotta hear that, but we
gotta say how you stand.
We got a guest on here today, so we're gonna give him the honors. Meech, how are you staying unfazed? Unfazed is like how the world is crazy. A lot of stuff getting thrown at you each and every way. What do you do to stay unfazed in this world?
Okay, first before I answer that question, I do gotta give y'all flowers. I love what y'all doing, man.
I appreciate.
I love what y'all doing.
Let me see if I can do this.
Yeah.
He done found the goddamn sample and pick button.
Streamer. No.
That bit don't end on its own.
Man, it was good like the whole time.
Like,
how do I stay unfazed? Honestly, man, it's
wait. Yeah, take them big. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, it's the people.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, talk to him. Talk to him, man. It's your time to shine.
I've been waiting.
Go back to 3 wide. Go back to 3 wide.
All right, we gotta get it right. All right, ready? Just start talking, Meech, and she got it. I'm gonna trust her to get it.
No, wait. I'm gonna go from look. So we got a very special guest on here today, Meech. I appreciate you for coming on, man. It's been a blessing. I've been wanting to tap in with you for a long time, and it's one of those things too, where it's like some friends you have in life, some brothers you have in life, the communication may not, it may not always be there, but it's like we
100%.
both got things going on. But when you get back together, it's like you never left. It's like you've been with each other. It's like we still on college campus. And I feel that with you, brother. So I know, and I told Leek this last time, when I started the Unphazed podcast, I had you in mind. I had Leek in mind. I had E in mind. I had all these guys, because this is going to come around full circle. It's going to come around and touch all the brothers, man, because I'm not doing this on my own. It's about collaboration. It's about growth and all that. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you. But go ahead and tell the people
how you stay unfazed, Lee.
Staying unfazed.
Wow, brother. I've been waiting to do one of these, man, with the music in the background, a little motivational speak.
That kind of shine.
But honestly, man, how do I stay unfazed? Honestly, I gotta give it all to God. God, we built a stronger relationship these past couple years, and he just been giving me direction, you know, guiding my every step. And again, the people that you have in your corner, like a village supporting me throughout my life, through high school, college, when I was born, and they just still just whatever I'm doing, they behind me, just supporting me and pushing me. So I just look back at what that young Meech wanted. You know what I'm saying? I'm big Meech now, but what that young Meech wanted and needed.
Yeah.
So I just try to show up for him. You know, I think about him, what he needed as a mentor, a big brother, whatever the case may be. And I just try to just show up for him. You know, if I can put it in a nutshell, that's what it'd be.
Hey man, hey, stop playing with me.
Hey, we might start using that for real though.
Look, and this is an episode. This episode, no, we're talking about Cenat Streaming University, but you know, Meech you gonna come back. He gonna have his own episode because he got a story.
Oh yeah.
But
we got it because
everybody.
We got to dig. We got pause. I almost got my. Go ahead.
Yep. Chill out.
Chill out.
Reset. Rewind.
Because we want to get more into what you do as a creator, and you know what I'm saying, more of where you started at. There we go.
For sure.
Yeah, man. But I appreciate all of y'all, man. I appreciate everyone that stopped on. This is we haven't been doing live streams for, but I think the most I seen was 9 people on here. So I appreciate the people that hopped on here. You gotta start somewhere, and all the people are gonna come and watch this after this because it's gonna be on YouTube forever. So I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and hit that follow button, man, so we can go ahead and run this up. Y'all tune in with us more often. We like
and most importantly, stay unfazed.
I'm unfazed.